seems like such a radical idea that gratitude is much bigger than just me saying thank you for my family, thank you for my money, thank you for my house, thank you for all the things that I have in my life, thank you for the opportunities I receive in my life. This we used to, and sometimes we can feel it, sometimes it's hard to feel it. But when you tune into the bigger systems of life, you start to realize that life itself is such a vast consciousness, it's such an expanded consciousness, that it's an expression of gratitude in every moment. And if you think about it logically for a moment, that kind of makes sense, that a higher consciousness, and gratitude itself is a higher level of consciousness. It's, of course, going to be part of these higher consciousness systems of life. And especially in today's world, we have, I think, become so pained, so hurt in a way by the situation that we're in and that is fed to us now all the time by the media about the way we've treated our planet. Now, this is not to deny that. We still need to clean up our own act as human beings because we are conscious and we can do that. But what I've found is that when people are hurt all the time through their beliefs or through the circumstances in which they live, then they cannot really heal. They cannot really clean up. They can try. They can do everything right on the outside, but if you're so hurt on the inside that you feel afraid of life, that you can't trust, that you don't like human beings, that you're afraid of the future, then all the time inside there's so much pain that it's impossible to really relax. It's impossible to really let go of the old energy, the garbage, so to speak, that you no longer need inside your system. Because of course you're tense. It's like a child. If a child is constantly being criticized, constantly being told that they're in danger or that they're wrong, how does that child ever learn to trust? How does that child really relax? How does that child experience love when it's constantly interfered with by this application of pain and hurt? Now, I know that pain and hurt are a part of human life. We have to have this contrast so that we can get to experience ourselves and experience life. But it makes a huge difference when we're able to connect with the bigger systems of life, with the energy of life, with the consciousness of life, and also of the expressions of life, like our planet, which holds all of us. It's our home. And to recognize that because their consciousness is higher, gratitude is included. So the way I experience it is that it's like life is grateful for itself. Sounds a bit strange, but that life itself is an expression of gratitude for life. And we're a part of life. We are life. And so we are a part of that gratitude. And when I started to tune into that, and I only discovered this very recently, I just never thought about it before. I discovered it during one activation. And I realized that there's this sense in which life is grateful for me just for showing up, for being alive. And it softened something inside me. It made it okay to be human. It made it okay, even with all the faults, with all the weaknesses, with all the ways in which maybe I'm not perfectly contributing to the well-being of our planet. It made me able to relax and to trust and to drop into a sense of gratitude myself. And I feel that this is immensely important because we're so bombarded at the moment by negative messages about ourselves, about humanity. And whilst the facts are the facts, it is extraordinarily difficult to do the cleaning up that's required, to have the change of heart that is required if we constantly feel hurt, judged, criticized, rejected, and not accepted. It's just like a child cannot thrive in that kind of atmosphere, nor can any human being thrive in that atmosphere. And so if we want to create change on this planet, it's our hearts that need to change. It's our consciousness that needs to change. And in order to do that, we need to tune into a consciousness that is supportive of life and is supportive of us, that is loving towards us. And as we experience the love of our planet towards us, and the love of all those higher realms of consciousness for us, then we can experience and express that love for life as well. When we experience the gratitude of all those greater life forms for us and for life and for us as a part of life, then it feels safe to feel grateful beyond the gratitude for having stuff or the gratitude for what's happening in your life, beyond the I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. So that's one level of gratitude. But this more expanded level of gratitude brings a sweetness with it and a flow and a beauty, and it gives access to joy. And look, I'm going to say as a human being, at least for me, at the level of development that I am, I can feel that joy. There's an endlessness to it. And I also know that I can get tired and grumpy and have too much to do and have all the really normal human experiences. But just knowing that endless joy, it's like a field that just goes forever. Knowing that that's there, even if right in this moment I may or may not be experiencing it, it changes something deep inside me. And so when I talk about things like that, I don't say them so that you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not experiencing that. You know, I was in a bad mood yesterday. That's not the point. It's just knowing that that's the underlying fabric of things. And then knowing that we can tap in little by little. We can tune into these experiences. And even a minute or two of this gratitude for life, this sheer gratitude for its own sake, will change your day. It may change several days. So this is important. So many people have glimpses, or they learn the words, and then they feel guilty because they're not experiencing it all the time. That is not the point. I'm not experiencing it all the time either, but I can tune into it. And I'm sharing that tuning into it with you, and you may find you can tune into it too. We're doing the same thing. And knowing that that's the case, even knowing that it's possible, will start to soften something inside you that couldn't relax before, because there was this bombardment of hurt and of pain and of judgment that I suspect we're all, or almost all, subject to. So this is very much about expanding, first of all, your awareness to recognize this about life, and then gradually to bring that awareness into your consciousness, to let it affect the choices that you make. to let it influence the way that you live, to remember, at least from time to time, that gratitude is an expression of life for itself. It's not a duty. It's not something that you are supposed to feel even when life is being really horrible. It's a consciousness you can tune into at will, by choice, because it's in you, it's what you are, it's all around you, it's in everything. It's part of the DNA of life itself. So it is accessible, and it feels so good that it's really worthwhile to remember and to take time every now and then. It's psychoactive, so what that means is a few minutes stretches a very long way. Those few minutes will change your being, will change the way you respond to life, the way you act in life. It'll change your consciousness. It'll change the choices that you make. So a little bit even goes a long way, and from a little bit you can experience a little bit more and a little bit more. So this is a good day for gratitude.